Good morning, guys, and welcome to today's edition of the London Session Open. Today is April 24th, 2020, and it's 10 minutes until 10 a.m. in London when we're doing this market update. I'm going to provide you guys with a quick update over the next 10 minutes to give you an overview of what's happening in the markets. We're going to take a look at a few charts. We're going to take a look at the Euro USD, GBP, USD, dollar, yen. We're also going to take a look at the DAX, S&P 500, gold, and crude oil prices. Let's talk a little bit first about the headlines. So we have that drug from Gilead, remdesivir, which last week was a report on that, and the stock markets rose on that report because that report showed that it could help us to cure people or help people that had the coronavirus. Unfortunately, there was a trial that was leaked overnight, and it was a trial made in China, and it looks like this drug had no effect on people that had the coronavirus. Not an impact that we were looking for, at least. And that is definitely weighing a bit on the mood as well. The PMIs, you probably saw them yesterday. They were horrible. So the PMI numbers, this number goes between 0 up to 100. When we're about 50, that means that the economies are growing. And in places like Europe, I think the composite declined to something like 12, 14. And it was a very similar situation in the US, a very similar situation in Europe and in the UK. And this is not unsurprising because nobody's working. I mean, very few people are working, and if they are working, they're working from home. But factories and things like that, bars and shops and hotels and flights, all of that is shut down, and that's why we have very, very low very bad economic reading. And we're gonna have horrible numbers for this month and the prior month. What's interesting though is what's gonna happen next. But we're starting to see markets starting to price in this a bit, and from a technical point of view, things are starting to look interesting to actually be bearish. So we're going to talk a bit about that. Kuwait decided to start to cut its crude oil production before the May 1st start date of the new program that was introduced by OPEC Plus. That lifted crude oil prices a bit, but overall, just to give you a bit of a background, demand for crude oil is anticipated to drop with about 9.7 million barrels per day, which is pretty much the same what they're looking to cut. And OPEC is only looking to cut in June and July. From pretty much August, they're gonna reduce what they're gonna cut, and then from January, you're gonna reduce it again. So it's not gonna be a full sort of 9.7, 9.3% cut of production throughout the whole year. Which is the drop in demand as anticipated by the International Energy Agency. So that is something to bear in mind. Of course, maybe the International Energy Agency is predicting demand to be wrong, because I guess that's clearly what maybe is happening, because otherwise I guess OPEC Plus would have gone further to cut. What else? The U.S. Congress approved economic relief package of $484 billion. I looked at some numbers. I think U.S. Fiscal stimulus or U.S. government spending right now amounts to about 35% of GDP, which is way much higher. You know, a lot of people talk about the Great Depression, but during the Great Depression, the recession of 2019, and that period, U.S. government spending only lifted from about 4% up to 10%. Now we went from about 20 to about 35. So there's a huge difference in responses here by the governments, and that it can explain why the markets haven't declined as much as some people have anticipated. What else? Jobless claims, hit 4.4 million yesterday. I don't remember the total. I think the total for the last few weeks is about 22 million people. So about 22 million people are not working right now in the US. All right, let's talk a bit about the stock markets, and we're going to begin with the German DAX. And the German DAX for now remains bullish above 10,088. And I've been saying that people are probably going to look to buy between 10,421 and 10,088. And I continue to stick with that. We got this move right. We got this little push here right, but right now we're underwater. But what is quite interesting, if you get rid of everything, it's quite clear to see that we have some solid support around this level here. Again, 10,088, and some solid resistance up here. And because the number economic data is coming in worse and worse, if we do take out the lows, I do think we could potentially trade lower. So we want to keep an eye on that. For the S&P 500 as well, some people are pointing out that maybe we're dealing with a head and shoulders, maybe with head, left, maybe right shoulder. I'm not so sure about that. And for now, I will continue to be bullish above 26, 59.5. So I want to be bullish from here. As we talked about yesterday, it could go up and then do something like this. However, start to take out these levels, then we could probably turn bearish. But I would prefer to sell the German DAX if that would happen. Crude oil prices. Okay, so crude oil prices. As you know, people are trading the June futures. You can see up here, and we've been doing this very good. We talked about the breakdown in the May contract before the big slide, and we even talked about here that this could slide down lower. And look and behold, technical analysis works. Some people say it doesn't work. Of course, it doesn't work if you don't know what you're doing. And do you always get it right? Definitely not. But that's not the point. The point is you when you get it right, you get the good risk reward ratio, you get the good entries, and you manage your exits and your stops perfectly good as well. And when we're trading down here, remember what I said, we probably can sell at 17. That's what I said first. But then when we're trading here, I said, let's actually push this up to 18 and went as high as $18.29, $18.30 per barrel. So then we went down a bit and then we went up and we almost touched that sell zone again. And now we're moving down lower. You got yourself a little double top. I think this can go down. I mean, depending on what happens today, we can maybe hopefully book half of the profits here at 13.62 and then the rest here at 11.15. Is it going to go all the way down to zero? Not sure, probably not. But you never know. But it's nothing I will be betting on. If we can get this piece here, then that will be enough. Relatively soon, because it's way too early, I will be able to take the trend funding level and probably just stick it up here. But that's something we can maybe look at on Monday if we indeed are trading down here. What else? Crude oil, gold prices. Let me see gold. Where do we have it? Here we go. So it's quite straightforward. So I don't know if you can see this, but I have lifted the little buy spots. So I sit here, buy down here, book profits up here. We're at those levels there. Of course, what you do with your money is up to you. But I think up here is a good little spot to book profits, at least half, if not 75% of profits. If you want to keep on a position, you think things are going to turn bad relatively soon, then you can probably hold on to it and maybe keep it to 118, 1,800. People that are not in the market, they want to get involved. I think they're going to look for decline to 1697, which is down here. That's where I think people will be looking to buy and then target the upside again. Euro USD. So we talked about break to the downside, triggering more sell-offs. So we said a break to this level here, which is 107.63, could push things lower. And so far that is looking to happen. And by trend funding level is 108.73. If we do swing up to 107.82, I think people are going to sell and going to target the lows. Is it a really good opportunity? No, it is not. GBP versus the USD as well. We talked about maybe the price reversing here, then turning lower. For now, the trend looks to have turned lower, and the only reason I'm happy to be bearish, I'm happy to show you this setup, but I'm not happily bearish. And the reason for I am showing you the setup is because the Euro USD is going lower. So when both of these go lower at the same time, that's good. But otherwise, this is actually a bit of a messy chart. So I wouldn't get too excited and I would not trade on this. But if you are really bearish, then I do think people will be bearish between 123.60 and 124.46. So these are the levels I am watching right now. Dollar yen is, this is a market that looks like everybody seems to have forgotten. So the trend is bearish below 106.89, and I think we can probably trade lower. Okay, so it's a bit rushed today, I know that. I'll be back on Monday as usual, and we'll host the presentation a bit earlier so we have time to answer questions. But we always have time to say good morning, and we do have Liz here in the chat box, as you can see here. Good morning to you, and we have as well Vincenzo. Good morning to you as well. Yes, so come Monday morning, we're gonna spend a bit more time together. but I need to unfortunately leave you now as I have a meeting now at uh, at 10 a.m. London time. Okay, guys, have a great weekend. Thanks so much for watching, and thanks so much for your continued support. I know some of you guys have been watching this since I was working for Daily FX, which is many years ago. Don't forget that you can follow me on Twitter. You just click on that link, and then you click on follow. We do also have a free premium forex trading course, which you get for free for any sorry, anyone that has an account with ATFX gets that for free. If not, you can buy it. We also right now also offer coaching. So we offer coaching, and you can actually get coaching sessions with all of the different analysts here on investingq.com. You can buy them if you want to. Alternatively, you can apply for free sessions, and ATFX will pay us instead of you paying. So what happens is that when you trade with ATFX, when you trade, that little spread that you pay, that's how they make their money back. So it's a win-win for everyone. All right, guys, have a beautiful day and a good weekend, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.